Hello, hello, hello. Tamara Hamilton here. I should be on the Winning Women Network page, but there's some technical difficulty. So I'm just going to go live from my personal page and we'll figure all that other stuff out a little later. So come on in, get to share it. I'm going to share this out myself. And we are going to talk today about finding inspiration. We're going to talk about finding inspiration. So just getting this shared out and we will get going. Hello, hello, hello. As you're coming in, please say hello. Let us know where you're coming in from and we're going to get going. We will get going. Let me pull up my notes here. I actually have notes today. Y'all know I hardly ever use notes, but this one, I'll talk a little bit about that. This one, I just really wanted to talk about because I really wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. The funny thing is, hey girl, thank you. Hey Katie, thank you. Yolanda from North Carolina. So come on in, share this out. The Winning Women Network, it is our midday activation call. What we're going to do today is talk about inspiration. Before we do, just our normal announcements. You can get your free Winning Women Network Success Planner at www.winningwomennetwork.com. Completely free group to join. And it is for everyone. So please feel free to join the group. It's a great group for you to get support, network, and just working from home can be a lonely thing, which is a little bit of what I'm going to talk about. I am on grandma duty today, so you might hear Mr. Tristan Carter playing by himself in the background. He just turned and looked at me. It was funny. He was on my iPad last night and he saw a picture of Keisha. And he goes, that's your cousin. I'm like, I thought she was your girlfriend. But anyway. And congratulations to our member of the month, Sonia. And I cannot pronounce her last name. Is it something? No, it's Neff. What's her? I'm a little discombobulated with this whole trying to go live thing. Our member of the month. I can picture her face. It's Neff Creer. Is it Sonia? Our member of the month. I'm looking through my, and I get so many messages. Sherry Neff Kreiner. Sherry Neff Kreiner is our member of the month, and congratulations to her. And again, get your free success planner at winningwomennetwork.com, and congrats to Sherry, our member of the month. So today what I want to talk to you about is there's a side to working from home, working by yourself and for yourself that not a lot of people realize. I'm not used to this. I changed the settings for live, so everything looks a little different, but it's all good. So working from home, there's a side to working from home that a lot of people just don't know about. There are books and authors that do touch on the subject. For example, in Your First Year in Network Marketing, Mark Yarnell talks about the fact that you probably are going to go through some sort of depression your first year in network marketing, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're working from home. In fact, for your first year, it probably shouldn't mean that you are working from home unless you already were, or like a stay-at-home mom, or during like a time of unemployment or something like that. So that whole depression, and then it can get worse too when you live somewhere like the frozen tundra, also known as Wisconsin, where you can have really short days. Hey nephew, really short days, not a lot of sunshine, not a lot of people interaction. It can be really rough, okay? And one of the first signals for me is the whole lack of inspiration, where, because I like to work from an inspired point of view. I like to be inspired when I work. I find inspiration in a lot of different sources, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And I love you too, baby. So here's the deal. When you find that you are not getting inspired, when you look around you and there's no inspiration around you, what do you do? Okay. So does this happen to anybody else before we go forward? I need to know in the comments, do you ever find yourself where you're just lacking on inspiration? You know, whether you're a makeup artist, a hairstylist, you are I need you to move, please. Thank you. Whether you are a makeup artist, a hairstylist, whether you do email marketing, no matter what it is that you do, we all usually tend to have those days where we are lacking on inspiration. So if you ever find yourself, whether it's summer, winter, spring, or fall, lacking inspiration, can you please put a 1 in the comments? That's one of the things that's so funny about working from home. You never know what's going to happen. It can be so unpredictable, and other times it can be completely boring. And you know, I never turned down the opportunity to be on Glam on Duty. So Tanyetta and Sonia say yes, that they sometimes lack inspiration. I know they can't be the only ones. Anyone else here often, or have you ever suffered through, Zandra says 1, where the inspiration just is not there? You're just kind of lacking on inspiration. Because here's the deal. It's all good and fun when you're working from an inspired point of view, right? When you're inspired, you're dancing, you're singing, you're humming as you work. It's fun. But when you are lacking that inspiration, that's where you start to feel a little repressed and depressed. Yolanda says 1, right? So that's one of the first things, is you have to be aware. You have to realize when you are hitting that point where the inspiration is coming fewer and far between. Okay, that's the first step, kind of like the 12 steps, is you've got to be aware. You have to acknowledge, okay, I'm lacking inspiration. Because here's the thing, if you have one day without inspiration, it can quickly turn to 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's when depression really starts to sit in. So you have to, 1, realize that you are starting to lack inspiration. Okay. And the next thing for me, once I realize it, then I have to renew. I know that I need to renew my inspiration. Okay. And here's something that happened to me recently, which actually inspired this actual talk. Tristan, thank you. Can I finish my video, please? I have to renew my inspiration. And how I renew my inspiration is I go out and I look at other people's work. I look at what other people are doing. I read personal development books, watch personal development videos. And one great source of inspiration that I find is going back and looking at my own old work. Looking at what I've done in the past. I'll go to my Instagram account and scroll further down and look at, like, wow, this is really good. And I know if I did it before, I can do it again, right? So renew your inspiration. That also is about renewing the saw. That is clearing your head. You got to clear your head. So a nice hot bubble bath, a long hot shower. So take care of yourself. You know, like the book says, girl, wash your face. It's kind of hard to be inspired if, which let's face it, right now I have on some basketball shorts on the bottom. I look great from the top up, right? And so when you're working from home, you often are living in your pajamas for days at a time. You got to make sure you shower every day. It's really easy to just kind of lose that whole taking care of yourself. In the tub right now. Lisa's in the tub right now. Thank you guys for all the love, okay? So you have to renew your inspiration, and that includes not only going and looking at different sorts of things that inspire you, visiting places that inspire you, the ocean, the beach, the lake, those inspire me, right? Going out on the trails, especially in the fall, and seeing all the leaves changing color, those things inspire me, especially from a makeup standpoint, because of all the different colors. Good morning. It might even mean going to the zoo and spending some time with wildlife, right? So, and renewing, take that Epsom salt bath, take some time and breathe and just clear your head. I heard a quote recently, and I know I've heard it before, and that quote was, prayer is talking to God. Meditation is listening to God. So you got to do both. You got to pray and you got to meditate. That's why I love going out and spending time in nature to renew. Hello, Nisi. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So he talked about you got to realize you got to renew, and then you have to reconnect. Okay. This is a people thing right here. You've got to reconnect. You've got to reach out and touch somebody's hand. Okay. Can I get a hand clap in the comments if you know what I'm talking about? You need human contact. Okay. I love my grandson, but if I spend too much time with a 4-year-old, sometimes I need adult contact. I know my moms can understand that as well. I'm washing my face in a few minutes. I look foolish. Hilarious. So you got to reconnect, okay? And it can't all just be about business. Reconnect. Send out some messages. Send some text messages. Call some friends that you haven't seen in a while. Go for coffee. Go for brunch. But reconnect. You need human contact. You never know how they're going to inspire you with what they're going through. Okay, that's why I love this midday activation call, so that I when I hear Dr. Kathy talk about what she's going through, and I hear other women, and we all have been kind of going through the same thing this year, it inspires me, because I know that I am not alone. Okay, can I get a hand clap in the comments if it gives you comfort to know that you are not alone? Not in a misery loves company type of way, but to just know that there are other people also going through it, and together, by building that community, you can get through it together. Okay, Timmy says he agrees. All right. The other thing is, and I saw Lady Marcy Soares Wilson talk about this the other day, you got to reorganize your view. Sometimes if I'm, in a work environment and I'm working on a problem, sometimes I'll turn the paper upside down. Just reorganize your view, okay? So look at things differently. In her video, she went and stood on higher ground, okay? Like I said, sometimes rearranging things around. A big one for me, and I've talked to several girlfriends recently, and we've all talked about the same thing: remove the clutter as part of reorganizing your view. Okay, I personally cannot be inspired in a cluttered environment, and I am not a neat freak. I grew up in that type of environment, so it's really hard for me to be like a neat freak. I tend to be, I won't say lazy, but I tend to be a little more lax. And not just like, because I grew up, man, if you slowed down eating your food, your plate might get removed from in front of you and thrown in the garbage because they thought you were finished. Okay, be right back. The plumber here to fix the sink. Right, different perspective. You need a different perspective, and removing the clutter. You got to remove the clutter. Start throwing things out. If you haven't worn it in 2 years, throw it away. Right? If it's lipstick, you haven't worn it in 2 years, you definitely need to throw it away, because it's probably full of germs anyway. Right? So just that activity is going to help you be able to connect with your source of inspiration better than you were with all the clutter around you. Okay? And the last one is to reignite. Hey, Brittany, reignite your inspiration. Okay, set your soul on fire. Remember why you started in the first place. So reignite, reconnect with your why. Set yourself back on fire. Set your why back on fire. Go back to your old content. Okay, you do all of these things, it should help you to reignite. But the big thing is connecting back to why you got started in the first place. Okay, and the best way to reignite, in my opinion, is inspired action. Start taking action. The longer you don't take action, the longer it's going to take for you to get reignited. It's going to take longer for you to get out of whatever funk that it is that you are in. Okay, and it kind of goes back to reorganizing your view too. Like, I find one of the dangers for me is I can do a lot of things from laying in bed. I have to physically get up out of bed, stand up, walk around, sit up straight, so that it's something like chemistry or physiological, and I can't pretend to be able to explain it, but just laying down, it really ruins a lot of things for you. So just because I can work from my phone in my bed doesn't even mean that I should sit there and do it all day. And yes, like Lisa said, put a bra on because it's going to make you pop up a little bit and improve your posture. Okay, so you got to reignite. Okay, you do all of these things plus, like I said, connecting with your why and start taking action. If you don't take action, you're going to sink further and further into your funk. Your funk is just going to get funkier. I'm terrible for holding on to things. You're making me need to get organized. Yes, you have to. You have to. You know, what I will do is, like during spring cleaning, I will say, okay, this week, every day this week, I'm filling up a trash bag. I'm filling up a trash bag and go drop, you know, and I got my bags that are going to Goodwill and I got my bags that are going in the garbage. But, you know, I will do that at least twice a year where every day I'm filling up a trash bag. And so that's how I do it, because I am a paper hoarder because I love to read and I love information and I have to get rid of some of that stuff. This is good to me. I get there sometimes working in corporate America and come home to put work in on my online business. I'm loving these comments. Yes, take action. Yikes, that's a kick in the butt for me. Closet needs it bad. Yeah, so I did my main closet a few weeks ago, and then I looked at the closet here in the studio like, did you just take everything from upstairs and bring it down here? Because now you need to do this closet because it's looking, the whole studio needs to get done again, especially after this dude has been here and his toys are all over, because wherever he is, he owns the space. He's got toys everywhere. So I'm going to recap these for you. How to work inspired even when you feel like quitting, okay? Number one, you got to realize, you got to acknowledge it. You got to know that you are in a funk, okay? Number two, you got to renew. That's your signal. You got to renew yourself. You got to clear your mind, clear your space, okay? And it's not just self-care, okay? But self-care is a huge piece of it. And then reconnect. Go out and find your sources of inspiration and stay plugged in with your sources of inspiration. There are certain podcasts for me, which sometimes is how I end up in a funk because they're not giving me things that are inspiring, but I have to still figure it out. And like I said, that's when I will go back to some of my own content and be like, you know what? You actually are pretty good at this. So if you did it before, you can do it again. Okay. So reconnect, reorganize your view, go stand on higher ground, flip things upside down, clear the clutter. Okay. Girl, get rid of the mess. If you haven't worn it in 2 years, that's what I did when I went through my closet a few weeks ago. It's like these suits, first of all, you don't plan on working in corporate for anybody ever again. Second of all, if you ever did get back into these suits, you would not even want to wear these in public because they're so out of style now. They're out, okay? Okay, so reorganize your view. And then lastly is reignite. And the best way to light the flame is to actually do the work. Start getting busy. Sometimes you just got to be too busy to be depressed. Okay, you got to be too busy to be in a funk. Okay, but you also got to stop and make sure you're being productive at the same time, that you're effective and you're working on the right things. Okay, so that was my little spiel for today. It's very interesting. You got a grandson over here, you know, knocking stuff down. But that's what it's like to work from home, okay? And you need to know that sometimes when we work from home, there is this downside that a lot of us don't talk about. One more thing I want to talk about with Reconnect that just hit me because somebody just joined on here is your networking groups. Just because you work from home does not mean that you should not be a part of in-person networking groups, because a lot of them are working from home too, and they have support systems like a networking group that I'm in. Every first Friday, they all get together. They got some space for free at a credit union, and everybody just comes and kind of works together. Do a buddy system. Go and visit someone at their house and you both do work, and that way you can bounce things off of each other. That's another way to reconnect and get that adult human to human contact, okay? And get that whole hashtag me too, okay? This is something that I'm dealing with. Are you dealing with it? How are you dealing with it? What are you doing about it, okay? So that is today's Winning Women Network activation call. Don't forget to get your free success planner. at winningwomennetwork.com. The group is entirely open to everyone. It was so funny. Somebody asked me, well, can I join? I think they thought because they didn't have the same skin color as I do that they couldn't join. And I'm like, absolutely. Our member of the month doesn't have my skin color right now either. It's okay. You are definitely more than free to join. What we want is women who have a passion for helping other women and just building that support, that community, and that tribe. We don't care about color. I'm sorry if I ever gave that impression, because that is just not the case. So you guys have a wonderful, awesome weekend. I am going to go and spend some more time with my little love bug before he is gone. And I will actually be back on Tuesday. And hopefully by then we will have figured out where this message went that gives me the access that I need to be able to go live from the Winning Women Network page. So have an awesome weekend, everybody. Do you want to come say bye?
Bye.
They can't see you.
Bye.
They still can't see you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. You want to click right there to end it?